First of all, I'd like to ask, are you able to hear me okay? Is it hot in here for you? Some of you are fanning. Does it mean it's hot? Dear meditation hall team, could we please lower the temperature? It's a bit hot in here. Sister, because you know what happens when we feel hot? We're gonna fall asleep. I also going to fall asleep. When you fall asleep, perhaps only few people see you, but when I fall asleep, you always see me, right? Okay, so the sisters will lower the temperature, and hopefully the meditation hall will be cooler in the next few minutes. I'd like to invite all of you to perhaps stop fanning one another for now. Put the fan down, please. I know some of your names, so I don't want to call your name out. Let us sit beautifully with the back upright. Yes, and could we please close our eyes? Let's see who sits beautifully like the Buddha. The Buddha sits with his back straight. His shoulders are relaxed. There's a gentle smile on his face. Breathing in, I am aware I am breathing in. Breathing out, I am aware I am breathing out. Aware of my in-breath, aware of my out-breath. Let us listen to 3 sounds of the bell. Dear respected Thầy, dear beloved community, dear young friends, today is Sunday, June 25th in the year 2023, and we are sitting here in the Rising Time Meditation Hall. My name is Sister Bội Nghiêm, and my pronouns are she and her. Happy Pride Month to all of you. Pride Month, yes. I want to give a special shout out to those in the LGBTQIA+ community. Know that love is love, and we love you very much. Okay? Know that we got your back. Let us make GDPT inclusive as much as possible. If you agree, say yes. Yes. Can we make GDPT more inclusive? Say yes. Yes. Thank you. We know that our friends in the LGBTQIA+ community are very beautiful people, and they deserve our respect, our love, and our care. Do you agree? Yes. That is quite a weak yes. Do you agree? Yes. All right. Who here personally knows someone in the LGBTQIA+ community? Raise your hand. Wow. Okay, next question. How many of you know someone in the LGBTQIA+ community that goes to GDPT? Huynh trưởng, please look around. Huynh trưởng, look around. Yes. Thank you. This is something that I would like to invite and encourage all the huynh trưởng to please open your heart, learn from the expert, get proper training, so that when we have friends in the LGBTQIA plus community come to GDPT, they feel welcome, embraced, and loved. Do you think GDPT is inclusive enough? Yes or no? If you agree that GDPT is inclusive enough, please raise your hand. If you agree that GDPT is not inclusive enough, raise your hand. I'm sure the Buddha is very disappointed right now. But the Buddha has faith in his students, knowing that everything is impermanent, right? And that one day, hopefully very soon, that GDPT, as well as Vietnamese Buddhist temples and Buddhist temples, monasteries all over the world, would create a space, a safe space, a welcoming space to our friends, to all of our friends, but especially to our friends in the LGBTQIA plus community. If the older generation is unable to do this, young generation, do you think you can do it?
Yes.
This means that you stay in GDPT until the end of your life. Yeah. You know, young people, if you want to make real changes, you got to stay put where there is beauty, there is goodness in a community. So later on, when you fall in love, later on, when you have partner, significant others, love interests, make sure to continue to stay in GDPT. Then you are the ones that help it to make it more inclusive, right? Even when you have a job and if you don't work on Sunday, please come to Gia đình Phật tử, because the future of inclusivity in Gia đình Phật tử depends on who? On who? Exactly. So look at the person. Let's do pinky promise. Promise me that you will stay in GDPT forever. Okay. Once again, flowers to their friends in the LGBTQIA plus communities and to all the allies. Thank you for being you. Thank you for being beautiful and for believing that love is what? Say it. Love is love. Again, look at the person next to you and say, love is love. Yes, Ryan? So, okay, may I have your attention? So next time, when we speak about love, don't just think it's a boy and a girl, a woman and a man, right? It can be a woman and a woman, a man and a man. The most important thing is love is love. If you agree with me, raise your hand. Love is love. Thank you. Thank you so much. So, dear friends, this morning, I will share with you about my love story. And I will share with you my breakup. How many of you here are in love? Raise your hand. Nobody? Only a few hands? Okay, next question. Shh. You know the sound shh? Do you know what it sounds like? What? Waterfall? I don't know, for you it's waterfall, but for me, when I was young, when I couldn't pee, my mom would do shh, shh, for me to pee. And I don't want to trigger anybody's bladder. So please, let us try to be as quiet as possible. Because when I do shh, it can mean waterfall, or it can trigger your bladder, right? And we're in a very sacred space. Right? How many of you have been through a breakup? Oh, wow. So you have been through a breakup more than in love. First of all, I'd like to give a special acknowledgement to all of you. One night, I went on Facebook to visit different GDPT from Miền, Tịnh, Khiết. And I saw that some of the gia đình Phật tử did some fundraising to have enough funds to come to this retreat. Some temples, some gia đình Phật tử had to make vegetarian food and ask people to place as much orders as possible so that you could have money to come here. If that is your gia đình Phật tử, can you raise your hand? There you go. Thank you so much for all that loving effort. And also, there were some GDPT that held special garage sale. Perhaps you practice letting go like the Buddha taught. You wanted to give away what you don't need. Or you even went a little bit further that you practice to let go what you love. So you held garage sale. If that was your GDPT, can you raise your hand? Maybe they left already. Okay, thank you. And there were some GDPT that held special car wash. Wash people's cars. How much did you charge for a car? $3? Could you stand up if you're in the gia đình Phật tử that did car wash to raise money to come here? Maybe they went home to do more car wash. Okay. There was one gia đình Phật tử that would sell bubble tea to raise fundraising. Who is that? Is that you? Yes. And how much was the bubble tea? Oh, it depends on what they want. Would you give the monastic free? Thank you for that. And last but not least, there were gia đình Phật tử that held special lion dance to raise fundraising, to do fundraising. So flowers to all the GDPT. We know how much it took for all of you to come to this retreat. And also a special thank you to all the organizers, to all of our elders, to all the huynh trưởng for spending many days in front of the computer, had meetings over Zoom, and while they're here, they met very late at night to make sure that you all are happy. Are you grateful to them? Yes. Wonderful. Now let us listen to one sound of the bell. I would like to invite all of you to look at the board. This is a quote written by our beloved teacher, Zen Master Thich Nhat Hanh, about gratitude. When we live in the spirit of gratitude, there will be much happiness in our life. The one who is grateful is the one who has much happiness, while the one who is ungrateful will not be able to have happiness. If at this moment in your life you don't feel happy, perhaps it is because you are lacking gratitude in your heart. Let's do an exercise together, okay? Let's put your hands on your heart. Feel the beating of your heart. Allow the warmth of your hand to permeate to your heart. And visualize the blood coming to your heart and the blood leaving your heart to all parts of your body. My heart, I know you have been with me for the last 15 years, 40 years, 70 years, 5 years. Thank you so much for being here. I cannot live my life if I am without you. You are indeed the love of my life, my true friend. And I am sorry for those times I was angry. I know I hurt you. For countless hours I spent on my phone, lying down, slouching, watching TikTok, Instagram. I forgot about you. I want to say I'm sorry. My heart, I promise to exercise more, to be more in nature, to drink more water, and most importantly, to let you know how much I care and love you. Thank you, dear friends, for your practice. The exercise that we just did, it helped you to secrete happy hormones. Do you know what are happy hormones? Dopamine, oxytocin, epinephrine, what else? Maybe you can ask Google or ChatGPT. Okay? But I'd like to share with you some health benefits when we are grateful. You know, oftentimes when we talk about psychology, we are so focused on the negative psychology, which focuses on mental illness. But let us shift our thinking. And if there are those of you in here who are interested in psychology, perhaps later on, you could major in positive psychology. Gratitude, compassion, kindness, altruism. These are all positive psychology. So when we have gratitude, we know that we are happier And do you know that you had fewer visits to the physician, to the doctor? It means that your health is very good. And also, each one of us, we have the seed of depression inside, more or less. For some of us, the symptoms are very visible. For some of us, they are quite hidden. Some of us, we have high functional depression, which means outside, we're very energetic, we look healthy, but when we come home to our room, to our home, we want to shut the door. We don't want to interact with anyone. And we started to have suicidal thoughts. So when we practice gratitude in our daily life, whether that is just sitting down, placing our hands on different parts of our body, or making a gratitude list, it helps with the depressive symptoms. It does. It helps. From someone feeling apathetic, numb, if we create ourselves a habit of being grateful, then we can start to have feelings again. The greatest misfortune of a person is when we become apathetic or numb, when we see the beauty around us, or when we see the suffering around us. And if you have inflammation in your body, being grateful can help to reduce that inflammation. Am I saying that being grateful is a medicine that cures all? No. There's no medicine that cures all. But know that being grateful is a condition, is a cause that can help us to reduce the inflammation, the depressive symptoms. And of course, you need other helps, outside help. For some of us, we need to take medication when we have depression, right? And if you're someone who feels tired all the time, I have good news for you. We practice gratitude to have less fatigue. It can give you more energy. And dopamine is produced Dopamine is a neurotransmitter that is in our brain. It is a rewarding, good feeling type of hormone. So that every day we can practice when we see our parents, first day in the morning, or when we look ourselves in the mirror. Who here has mirror at home? Right? Okay. When you see yourself in the mirror, don't just focus on the acne. Don't just focus on the scars on your face. But see the beauty in your heart. Beauty is a heart that generates love and a mind that is open. Beauty is the heart that generates love and a mind that is open, a mind that is open. Something like that. And that is the short poem that we practice whenever we look into the mirror. The mirror does not just only help us to put on lipsticks correctly or mascara in the right way. The mirror, looking in the mirror, is a reminder to help us that inside of us, we have love to offer to ourselves and to others. This is how we can appreciate ourselves. Do you know Michael Jackson's song, Man in the Mirror? Yes. If you want to make a change, you start with the person in the mirror. Wink at yourself when you look in the mirror. Smile to yourself when you look in the mirror. And say to yourself, I wish you a beautiful day today. And when we are able to do this to ourselves, then whoever we see during the day, we are able to show love. And in Buddhism, we talk about 4 gratitudes. Who here knows what they are? Can you raise your hand if you know? In GDPT, you don't learn this? Could you share with me what are the 4 gratitudes? Teachers, friends, parents, animals, plant, and mineral worlds, right? So the 4 gratitudes. I know you are very eager to hear my love story, but before I share with you about that, I want you to learn about the Dharma first, before I share about my drama. Because in the drama, there is Dharma. So let's learn, right? There is Dharma in the drama. So if now you're having a lot of drama in your life, don't worry. The Dharma will come, or the Dharma is already there. Full gratitude. Parents, teachers, friends, animals, plants, mineral worlds. I am aware that there are those of you who sit here, one of your parents have transitioned, and it's hard for you to cope with their passing or their death. May I ask who here has either one of your parents passed away? Can you raise your hand? Okay. What about those of you who still have both of your parents? Raise your hand. That's 99% of you. Do they sometimes give you headache? Yeah. They want you to study something that you don't like, right? My parents never wanted me to become a nun. But I knew that this was my path. And perhaps for some of you, your parents wanted you to be a doctor, be a pharmacist, a lawyer. But perhaps your interest is in journalism, graphic design, veterinarian, because of your great love to animals. And you can find ways to let them know what is in your heart. You can do more research based on previous survey and data, and let them know that it's not difficult to find these jobs. Rest assured that I will not borrow your money after graduation, and that you can be financially independent. And you can write them a letter, let them know your passion. Parents, the ultimate thing they want for you is to be happy. And because they don't understand your deep wish, that is why they often want you to do the things that they think are good for you, but actually is only good for them, right? So this is an invitation for us to live in a way in our daily life where we can gain our parents' trust. If at this moment we spend countless hours on TikTok, on social media, how can you gain your parents' trust? How can they trust you that you will be financially stable later on in your life? So, if you want your parents to have confidence in you, trust you in the field that you wish to study, then right now, make a change. I'm also aware that for some of you, sometimes your parents falsely accuse you. Let's say that you study 2 hours. You were not on TikTok or Instagram. And then just right after you pick up the phone, your parents enter the room. Anyone? Yeah. And they yell at you. They say, "How come you're always on the phone?" I know how that feels. And your parents often think you're lazy. They don't give you a break. And perhaps because there were times they asked you to help, but they call your names like 10 times. They call you on the phone. They texted you. They even scream for your name. Yet, you don't come down. So, dear young ones, gain your parents' trust. Prove that what they think about teenagers, prove them wrong. That teenagers are not lazy. Teenagers are super, super smart. And they're not arrogant. Do you agree with this? Teenagers know that I am an ally for you, just like an ally for the LGBTQIA+ community. Every day, take a moment to be grateful to your parents. I remember when the election took place in 2020, my dad and I, we had a different political viewpoint. He voted for this person, I voted for this person. And I couldn't believe it. I was pretty angry at him for voting the person that their speech is just pretty harsh, has a lot of hatred. There was no love and understanding or peace in that person just under my eyes. But under my dad's eyes, that person is not like that. And then I thought to myself, Sister Bội Nghiêm, if you were driving on an interstate and you had car problem, who would you call? And the first answer was my dad. In us, we have a lot of perhaps anger toward our parents. But perhaps they are the first one we think of. We want to ask for help when we're not feeling well, when we need money. And I know that you don't come to them for love advice. Not them, right? You would go to your friends for love advice. But why don't you just try? Your parents have experience in love, don't they? I'm sure they had butterfly in their stomach. Even though they didn't call their first love Shorty, but they gave their first love some sort of nickname. I just learned yesterday, what does it mean, Shorty? In the past, it meant for shorty. But now it's called Shorty. And there's a song, let me read it to you. The song is a replay. The title is Replay. Shorty like the melody in my head. Got me thinking like na 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 every day. When we look at our parents, we only see them as they are right now, or we only see them when they were not kind to us. But please remember the love, how they were like when they first fell in love. Ask them. Every night before I go to sleep, I would lying on my right position and put my hand like this to express my gratitude to my mom first and then to my dad. Why do I express gratitude to my mom first? Because it seems like in this world, we often think men first before we think about women, right? Let's do something to change that gender inequality. I think about my mom first. I say, thank you, Mom, for teaching me how to drive. Who here, your mom taught you how to drive? And thank you, Dad, for taking me to extra classes on Saturdays and then taking me to Vietnamese restaurant to enjoy pho. Think about one thing that they do for you every night or every day. I think that's the secret to my sleeping very well. And I don't dream. It's very rarely that I dream. Because before I go to sleep, I practice gratitude to my parents. Now let's go to friends. Friends are a life. They are a word. Who do we go to when we feel this great excitement, joy, and happiness? Is it our friends? Who do we feel comfortable crying with? To other gentlemen here, who do you feel comfortable crying with? Do you cry at all? If you're a gentleman and you cry, can you raise your hand? And you know, there is nothing wrong with gentlemen or boys crying. We should give them flowers that they can cry. Let us remove toxic masculinity. Because it's a way for them to express their emotion. Why is it that for girls, it's okay to cry, and for guys, it's not okay? So girls, if next time you see a guy cry, please don't tell him to man up, but to come to him and put your hand on his shoulders, or to let him know that it's okay to cry. It's okay to cry. So, gentlemen, please, when you are with your friends, don't just talk about girls, but talk about the emotions in your heart, about your feelings. Remind one another that girls are not objects, they are human beings. They are daughters, sisters of a family. Especially we are in gia đình Phật tử, we practice reverence for life and true love. We see the members in gia đình Phật tử as our sisters. And if you have some attraction and wish this person to be your shawty in the future, make sure that there is respect, care in the love, and also in the word shawty. And when we talk about friends here, we only don't just talk about friends, but we can also talk about a love interest, a boyfriend or girlfriend. I fell in love when I was 16. It has been a while since I haven't fallen in love. So that was 23 years ago. Now you know my age, right? So I fell in love when I was 16, and that was 23 years ago. So how old am I right now? Exactly, 39. And that was my first love, and perhaps my only love. And don't think that falling in love at the age of 16 is puppy love. No. It can leave behind beautiful memories, wounds, heartaches, and tears, right? From time to time in my meditation, I express my gratitude to my former boyfriend. I'm grateful that he was not abusive. Never once he tried to hit me. Never once he told me that I'm ugly. Never once he forced me to have sex. If this is something I'm not grateful to him, then what? But eventually we broke up. He was darn cute. He was Cambodian. Yeah. Cambodians are very good looking, don't they? He was very handsome under my eyes. And he continued to be handsome when we broke up. So what was it that led to our breakup? His eyes were still the same. His smile was still beautiful. His height was also perhaps a bit taller. His teeth were still very white. And he was still very handsome. What led to the breakup was not because how he changed physically, but because of our differences in personality. When we first met someone, it is how they look that attracted us, that wanted us to be with that person for a long time, right? But after a while, we realize that it's their characteristics, it's their personality, it's how they deal with their anger, it's how open they are to communication, it's how patient they are. So to all of you who are in love, who will be in love, this is something I wish I learned when I was 16. For the first 3 months of being in love, you're obsessed with your love interest. You are addicted to your love interest. You think about that person 24 hours a day. Do you agree? Oh, come on. And I remember one Sunday when I was cleaning the refrigerator in my house, and for 2 minutes, I didn't think of my boyfriend. At that time, we were still together. And I felt so bad. Because to me, being faithful was to think about him 24/7. Yeah, I know. I wish I was smart like you. You were like shaking your head. But that was me. I was so naive. So for 2 minutes, I didn't think of him. And I say silently to myself, I'm sorry for not thinking of you in the last 2 minutes. That was my way of being faithful. I'm grateful to him because he never forced me to drink alcohol or do any drugs. So to all of you there, sitting here, mutual consent is important. One teenager shared with me about the meaning of consent. Let's say I have this cup of tea. I offer it to you. I say, would you like some tea? If you say no, it's okay. I respect you for that. And then if I offer you a tea and you say yes, then I give it to you. And I'm happy that you took it. And I'm also okay that you did not take it. And if you fall asleep and I pour the tea into your mouth, that's without consent. So you only give to others what they agree on. So later on, when you go on a club, we live in a society where girls are taught that never leave your drink unattended in the public because of a possible date rape. This is a society that we're living in. when you go somewhere, if you see that person as a daughter, as a child, as a future mother, or a future Buddhist nun, you wouldn't dare to put anything in that person's cup. You would leave the cup as it is. And in the future, if you have your own children, they are very proud of you. And in the present moment, you are truly the child of the Buddha. The Buddha reminds us to treat others with love, with respect, and with care. My ex-boyfriend did not put any drugs in my drinks. And that I am forever grateful to him. That is why today I'm able to stand here in front of you to share with you my love story without being traumatized. And I hope every one of you in here will have that same experience right now or in the future, because you deserve it. Who here deserve to be in love and not being fearful? Right? So dear young friends, love our friends, our love interest, our respect, they will be forever be grateful to you. Because when they are grateful, they can live a happy life, like a teacher teaches us. Let us listen to one sound of the bell. May I ask, what time is the next activity? What time? 10:30? Okay, so we have to end very soon. Dear Sangha, as you see right here, we have 2 chairs. And I wanted to make this Dharma talk a little bit different. So I asked 2 friends to come up here and help me. So Hui and Maggie, are you in the hall? Yeah. Please come, Hui and Maggie. Where are you? Please give them flowers. I just want to briefly introduce them. This is Hui from Oklahoma, Miền, gia đình Phật tử. Anyone here from Miền? Woo, okay, you have your peers over here. He came to the US when he was 7, and now he's 17 years old. He plays rugby in high school and is currently in a relationship. Yes. He's the one that taught me the word shorty. And this morning I went on Google and learned more about it, the history of it. It originated from Atlanta. Did you know that? Yeah. So thank you, Hui, for that valuable lesson. Next person is Maggie From Trúc Lâm Gia đình Phật tử. Anyone from Trúc Lâm? Wow, it's a lot. Maggie is 20 years old. She's currently studying mathematician in university, so a future math professor, hopefully. You know, when Maggie arrived here on Wednesday, there was an image of Maggie that I was deeply moved. A group of sisters were having lunch after a cooking day. Maggie came over with shyness in her face and perhaps a bit hesitation. And we asked her, "Oh, are you looking for something?" And she said, "Oh no, I'm just wondering if there's anything I can do to help." Yeah. How often do you approach an adult and ask, "Is there anything I can do to help?" When you go home, please practice this with your parents. Aaron, you're 11 years old. And I know that you have that capacity to come to your mommy when you see her busy doing so many things. You can come to her and say, "Mommy, don't forget to breathe. Mommy, is there anything I can do to help you?" I want to ask Hui a question. Know that these questions we already went over yesterday, so it's not on the spot. Hui, you are currently in a relationship.
Yeah.
Could you turn on the microphone? Just press the button until it turns green.
Hello. Okay, bye. Yeah.
Okay. May I ask, how long have you been in a relationship with your girlfriend?
About 1 year.
That's a long time for a teenager, isn't it? Yeah. To you, after being 1 year in a relationship, what is the most important thing that you see that keeps your relationship, your love alive?
I believe that it's the trust that we have towards each other and our bond.
Do you think communication too is important?
Oh, yes, of course. 100%.
You know, earlier I was talking about toxic masculinity. Do you see you have that in you?
To some extent, yes. But at the same time, I do want to express my feelings towards my girlfriend.
So let's say when you are sad or you wanted to cry, do you feel comfortable doing it?
Yeah.
Can you share with us about the time when you cry in front of your girlfriend and what did she say that moved you?
All right, guys. Little story time. So it was date testing day. I really felt like I did really bad. I got like a really bad score afterwards, and I just wanted to cry because I felt like my future was like jeopardized. So I went towards my girlfriend and said, "I don't think I did really good on this test." And she was like, "Oh, that's okay. Is there anything I can do to help?" At that point, I wanted to like tear up a little bit because I didn't know that she cared about me that much. And so I just kind of said softly, I said currently I just need like a shoulder to lie on, if that's possible. And she was like, "Yeah, of course, I can provide that for you." And for a straight 5 minutes, I cried, and it's just like, "Hey, everything will be all right," because this is not the only chance that you get.
Oh, thank you. That was an act of true love.
사랑해.
I mean, as a young person, you have a bright future in front of you. And perhaps you have a lot of worries, right? What is your worry, and what would you say to your worry?
I'll say something along the lines of, hey, can you tone it down a little bit? Because I'm still a teenager and I'm just trying to live my best life. But at the same time, I want to express my gratitude towards my worries. And by doing that, I can be like, hey, thank you for showing words to me, because I then realized that I'm worried and I need to like just calm down and just focus on myself rather than worrying about the past or the future.
Wow, thank you. So to all of you who have worries out there, please tell it to tone it down. Like, remember what Sister Bội Nghiêm shared with us about holding a pen? When it's too tiring, just put it down, right? Thank you so much, Hui. Flowers for Hui, please. And I'd like to invite Maggie to share with us about her practice of self-love. She's also currently in a relationship. Yeah, it's long distance at the moment. And so, you know, your boyfriend is 14 hours difference than where you are right now. So perhaps it's very difficult to feel the love that he shows for you. Or perhaps you are at the age now where you see self-love is very important, right? So could you share with us the last time you expressed love to yourself? When was it? How did you do it?
So the last time that I showed self-love to myself was probably actually a couple nights ago. So I'm a Hunchung, and so there was a meeting for Hunchung Chair, and one of my friends actually shared a story, and to me, the way that I took it was that I felt acknowledged for what I did, for all the efforts that I put in, which I don't usually do, and so it made me want to appreciate myself more. So it did make me tear up a bit, and I told myself that I'm doing great. There's no need to worry, because I do worry a lot. It isn't super consistent for me to show myself self-love, and so I do try to do it. I'm fully aware of how I lack with self-love, but I still try to implement it day by day, but it is a bit tough. So.
Thank you for that story. It's a lot of work being Huynh trưởng, coming to this retreat to help organize. So to take care of one's emotion is as important as tending others, people's emotion. Earlier in the talk, I gave a special shout out to friends in the LGBTQIA+ community. Do you personally know anyone in the community?
I do.
Yeah, and what have they taught you about love, gratitude in general?
So, one of my closest friends who is in the LGBTQA+ community is actually also in Young Phật, and they have experienced a number of difficulties within Young Phật, in which they were questioned about their sexuality, and in a way, it didn't really seem like the most positive way that it was conveyed. And so to me, it opened up my eyes for the lack of inclusivity within Nhân Phật tử. And from that, I learned that it would be great if we could implement that more within Nhân Phật tử. Yeah.
To all the huynh trưởng out there, a special message announcements. If you wish to know, to learn how to skillfully make the gia đình Phật tử more inclusive, you wish to talk to an expert, you can come to me after this, and I can refer to you a friend who has a trans daughter. And she used to work for P-FLAG, which stands for Parents for Lesbian and Gay Children. And she's very happy to bring her skills as well as her love to educate and to help the Vietnamese youth in having more happiness and peace. Because we know that our friends in the LGBTQIA+ community, the suicidal rate and the depression rate is very high. Do you know that? So when we show our support to ask them, to let them know you're saving their life. Isn't that why we are here on this earth? To save people's lives? Just the fact to let them know that I don't know much about LGBTQIA+ yet, but I'm willing to learn is the first step. So if you would like to learn, I am very happy to help you because I want you all to be happy. Yeah. So, and Maggie, now that you're in love, what message would you share to the young people down here about love? For them to be aware of, for them to cherish the love more.
For me, I would say it takes time. Be patient, be understanding. People always appreciate when the person that you want to spend the rest of your life with, assuming that you do want to spend the rest of your life with them, is that you just need to be patient and understanding.
Thank you, Hui. Thank you, Maggie. And what about you, Hui? What would you say to all the guys sitting down here? Look at them in the eyes.
All right, guys, listen. Show your shawty some love. And maybe get them some food too.
When you say show them some love, can you be more specific?
All right, maybe like acts of service, physical affection, or maybe just get them gifts.
Thank you. Thank you, both of you, for your wise answers. Give them flowers, please. Yeah. Our time is coming to an end, and I'd like you to do a short exercise with me before we end. So please take out your phone. Look at yourself on the screen before turning it on, please. Give yourself a smile. Please turn on an app where you can type. First thing, the best decision you made in your life. Please type it down that you're grateful for. Just one is good. And if you don't have your phone, you can think. Second, What is it that you have right now that you are very grateful? One more thing. What is it that you don't have now that you are grateful for? You don't have. Do you have a toothache? And last one. What is it about you that you are most grateful for? Thank you so much, dear Sangha, for being here today. I'm sorry it went over time a bit. I hope that what you learned from the retreat, you will be able to bring them home. Consider your breathing as your shanti, as your best friend, as your love interest. Come back to it as often as you can. And next time, when you hear the song replay, shanti like the melody in my head got me thinking like na 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 every day. Think about your breathing and not just an attractive person only. Okay? Thank you so much. Let us listen to 3 sounds of the bell. We may put our hands on our belly. Say, my Shanti, I am here for you. My breathing, I am here for you.